We're at the start of quali here. Stuck checks all finished. We did 3 stuck checks. We had 1 latecomer to the race, but now everybody who is coming is here. And so they head out onto the track for the very first time here at Suzuka. Let's turn that ding off. So, what's up everybody? Hey Ferrari. Hey Valerian, how are you guys? Got folks starting to round 130R to finish their first lap here. Up front is Tommy Khan in the M6. Gonna try to start setting fast laps. Oh, nope, Tommy is gonna go into the pits. So AMS Rush leads off in the Corvette. Should be pretty decent in the straights for the vet there. Tommy Khan coming right back out of the pits behind Rush. I don't know if they changed tires maybe. You are allowed racing hards down to racing softs in this race, from what I recall. A little flash of red on somebody's tires there. Tommy Khan back in the pits again, so maybe didn't change tires, maybe just got sent in the pits and wasn't allowed to pit and got sent back out, so they had to pause. You have this a little bit squirrely in the Viper here. Decent grid today. Not a huge amount of racers. 11 racers in lobby today. I love Suzuka very, very much. Kind of jealous I didn't get to take a couple of laps before the stuck checks and the like, but I was busy trying to figure out a technical issue with my setup. But we're here now. We're good. Historic Suzuka circuit, great famous circuit in Japan. We'll talk a little bit about it later. Like I said, I love this circuit, so I'm definitely going to want to talk about Suzuka. It's a really cool circuit too. Like, there's an amusement park. Like, it's cool. It's cool. First laps coming down. AMS Rush with a 57.1. And we're going to watch as a few more people need to cross the line, and then we'll give the order at the end of the first lap here. Now, one other person in the coming out of the final chicane there to cross the line. I think way back there is Tommy Khan, so I won't worry about that. That was Diogo Typer. So far the order is AMS Rush leading with a 57.1. I think that's going to come down. We got Bad Guy Cali, Chompy, Diogo Typer in 4th, Mir Hafis in 5th, is Medelic in 6th, F. Oliveira in 7th, Diego Costa in 8th, Joao Oliveira in 9th, Cromedix in 10th. Tommy Khan has yet to set a full lap yet, so we'll wait to see what their time looks like as they go through the S's here on their first lap. Meanwhile, folks are already heading in through to the hairpin. One of the most notoriously difficult corners in motorsport. You wouldn't think it is, but yeah, it'll get you. It will get you every time. Bad guy Cali in that great looking Aston Martin there. Gonna get through Spoon and head through the back straight towards 130R. What's going on with that? Mira Haffis up to 2nd. But that last time, Bad Guy Cali gets pushed down to 3rd. Ismadelic makes their way up to 4th place. Chompy steadily getting pushed down with these new qualifying times. Diogo Typer up to 4th. Got a couple people yet to cross the line. Tommy Khan comes across the line to 2nd place with a 56.8. That's Tommy Khan's first full lap here. And we're here with teammate F. Oliveira. My personal favorite car to take around here is a 911. We got one 911 in the field. That was Diego Costa, who we just saw take a little bit of a trip. Just past the S's. I know exactly where that happened, and I understand it, Diego. I understand it. I do. Truly. AMS Rush. Oops. Not what we're looking for. Why won't you let me do this? That's supposed to be on. That's why. Coming to the end of another lap here. Gonna hit the Casio triangle. That chicane there. We're actually gonna go on board with Rush through a fast lap around here. Let's see if they do better. Crossing the line. Nope. They don't go faster. Actually, they're 6/10 slower, so probably had a big mistake. Hopefully they do better on this lap. Let's see. Joao Oliveira up to 3rd place. But anyway, we're on board with Rush. Pay attention, Tati. Turn 1 right here. It's just called first corner. Very, very difficult corner. Now we're going to head into the S's, also known as Snake, but I just call them the S's. Some people call them Snake. I don't know. This is the anti-curved bank, and it's because it's off camber. It's ever so slightly off camber. I think it might be a little bit more dramatic in real life. And through the Dunlop curve here, as Rush heads into the first of 2 Degners. That's Degner 1, it's a tricky bastard. Degner 2, also a tricky bastard. You see Rush got a little bit squirrely coming out of there. That's going to hurt that lap time there. And then it's going to rush to a very, very hard braking zone into the hairpin. It goes uphill. The hairpin is uphill, and that helps slow you down, but don't let it lull you into making a big mistake and getting on that gas too quick. This corner has a name. It does have a name. I don't remember, but it's a long sweeper. But here we go into Spoon. Spoon, probably the most difficult part of this track, I think. Spoon is crazy because it's very easy to understeer and end up on the outside. You see on the outside here, there's this green stuff. It's like AstroTurf, and it's basically ice. If you get sent to it, the only thing you can try to do is just go straight. Don't try to steer through it. Go straight to get off of it and re-enter the track parallel to it so you don't slide. And AMS Rush, ooh, going wide in 130R. Very, very difficult corner as well. He's going to try to clean those tires off coming into the Casio triangle to try to get a good exit, and that's not a good exit, but going to try again for another lap. Tommy Khan has beat them for first place. And Rush has to try this again, but didn't get a very good exit out of the triangle. But that's a lap around Suzuka circuit. That corner I was thinking about is 200R. I knew it was a number like 130R. It's 200R. You know, I just realized I don't know what these numbers are about. I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna let y'all know why this circuit has corners that are numbers. I think, do other Japanese circuits also have numbered corners? I feel like it's a radius thing, right? Is it? Let's find out. Let's just find out. Mir Hafiz, by the way, has been pushed down to 4th place by Joao Oliveira, who I said set a time to go up to 3rd place while we were on board with Rush. Diogo Typer up to 5th place. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I was thinking about Diogo Costa. It's actually down in 11th now. Bad Guy Cali pushed down to 8th. Their best time coming on their 2nd lap. Their first out lap, actually. Their first fast lap, rather. Let's just look at Cremedix and the McLaren. It's such a beautiful car. Find out why these curves have numbers. F. Oliveira pushes up to 7th with their last lap time here. Mir Hafiz goes up to 3rd. Tommy's gonna park it. I think Tommy's finished. Taking a break. Still got people setting new quali times, still getting faster. Diego Typer up to 5th place, or stays in 5th place, but does go faster. Diego Costa just went a little faster, but stays in 11th place. It's just not enough to move up a spot. We got 2 minutes left in qualifying, so we've still got some time left to get more lap times in. And we know this series, there have been upsets before. It wouldn't be surprising to see an upset here for 1st place. AMS Rush looking clean through Spoon. Remember when we were on board, they had trouble coming with this upcoming corner, 130R. Hopefully they can get through it neatly this time around. That's perfect, just about perfect. Uses all of the track, hits that curb on the exit. Gonna come into the right left of the Casio triangle. Ooh, a little bit far to the left. That's gonna hurt the exit here, and squirrely there, also gonna hurt the exit a bit. I don't think it's gonna be, no, it's not a better lap time. Still time though, Rush. This could be the one. This could be the one. Coming into the 1st corner, you have to be a master at braking lightly and trail braking to get through that corner very quickly. Coming into the S's here. And then that off-camber corner. Diogo Costa faster again. Bad Guy Cali up to 5th with a faster time. As Rush navigates through the 2 Degners. It's about the halfway point of this track, if I'm not mistaken, just getting through that next sector there. And then here we are, that hairpin. You can really see from this angle that the second part of the hairpin is at a much higher elevation than the first one. It's almost like it's a switchback. It's almost like a mountain switchback. I think that's pretty much what it is. Just Suzuka being one of those old tracks that follows the lay of the land. So you got some, you got a lot of elevation changes. Not huge elevation changes, mind you, but you've definitely got your uphills and downhills, like right here, out of Spoon into that back straight towards 130R. Clips the inside there. Doesn't quite use as much of the track, but I think they just cut a lot on the inside, which should be fine. Usually is fine. Looking a lot better through Casio here. And let's see, better exit. Tucks tight to the corner to make that lap as fast as possible, but it doesn't happen. Still 3/10 slower than Tommy Kahn. And that's going to be the end of qualifying for AMS Rush. Muir Hafiz coming in, finishing up a lap themselves. Let's see what this does. Hugging again. Slow lap. Tommy Kahn is back out on track. I don't know if Tommy's on a fast lap. Nope, just an out lap, and I don't think they're going to have time to finish that up. So we'll go back on board with Diogo Typer. Diogo's been steadily going quicker. Had a bad final lap. Oh, Diogo just throws it away on that one. I think Diogo knew this lap wasn't going to do anything either. It's like that sometimes. It's like that. So, qualifying order. Tommy Kahn, Rush. Muir Hafiz, Joao Oliveira, Bad Guy Cali in 5th. Diogo Typer, Chompy, Cromedix, Ismadelic, F. Oliveira down in 10th. And then Diego Costa in 11th place is the whole grid here. I'm going to read out a little bit about the race settings. We've got 29 laps today. The time of day is 7:45 in the morning. Tire wear will be 3x. Fuel consumption at 2x. It's pretty low fuel consumption. Compounds allowed are racing hard through racing soft. There is no tire requirement. So I think this may be, is this the first round with multiple tire, I think this is the first round with multiple tire, what's the word I'm looking for? Grades, softness, there's a word, compounds, thank you. Multiple compounds available. So that's going to be interesting to see if anybody goes on the hards or even mediums to try to stretch out their stints. We'll see. We'll see. Everyone qualified on softs, of course, but that just makes sense. Why would you qualify on the harder tire? There's no tire wear in quali. But here we are about to start this thing up. Everyone lined up. It is a grid start with false start check, so no one can just jump the lights. Notoriously missing is Lamb. Oh, and the M6 does get a good start. Those big engine cars, AMS Rush and the Corvette, and Muir Hafiz and the Viper, of course, get the absolute best and quickest starts. That makes sense. That M6 does have a V8, but it takes a little bit for those turbos to spool up. Meanwhile, the Viper and the Corvette have all the power available pretty much on tap. Everyone getting through turn 1 very neatly there. They all just stuck to each other through the S's. It's hard to get through here when you're behind a lot of cars. Dirty air is a huge factor here. In fact, we see some people going wide towards the end there, towards the back there. Yeah, Cromedix out wide. Oh, that just really sucks. Just gonna be far, far behind from the rest of the crew. Meanwhile, everyone getting through the Degners here. We've still got the 2 big burly American cars up front. Tommy Kahn hoping to be able to make a pass on them, but it's not easy around here. It's not easy to pass at Suzuka. It's easy to It's easy to goad people into making a mistake, because there's, as wide as this track looks, there's really not much room for mistakes and messing up, just because it's so slippery on the outside of the track. But as for outright easy passing, you know, just because you can get later on the brakes than someone, it's not always doable. But the Casio triangle is a huge passing spot, so I'm interested to see if Tommy Cunn's going to make a move into the Casio on any one of those two cars, or if Tommy Cunn's just going to be okay chilling, knowing that they've got a lot of race to go. Nobody makes any moves into Casio. Everyone nice and neat in that first part there. Ooh, we got somebody off track. I don't know who that was. It looked like it was a one car. It was Cremedix again. Is Cremedix trying to pit, or not sure? Not sure what happened there, but Cremedix with two massive crashes at the end of the race here. F. Oliveira just doesn't get it right into the turn one, goes wide. Very easy to go wide in turn one there. Cremedix has a lot of time to make up. 16 seconds back. Just coming into lap 2 is rough. Muir Haffis and Tommy Cunn getting into it. That sends Muir Haffis off. We need a replay. The people need a replay. Just going side by side through there, and Muir just on the outside, just not enough room. It looks like it was just you know, just kind of a bad luck situation there. I think Muir maybe made a mistake, which allowed Tommy Cunn the chance to get in. And I think my game is going to freeze here. Alright, we're back. Tommy Cunn up to second, now 1.5 seconds behind Rush, so Tommy Cunn's gonna have to make up some time. Maybe they can. They had a 3.321 3/10 lead basically over Rush's outright pace in qualifying, but qualifying pace is different from the race. The race has tire wear and fuel consumption, meaning the cars are heavier. They handle a little bit different than they do in qualifying because of the weight of the fuel. So we'll see if Tommy Cunn keeps that pace advantage on Rush with those conditions in place. Bad Guy Cali up to 4th place here. Everyone obviously winning a position. Everyone who was behind Muir Haffis, and I think Muir Haffis is gone. I don't know if they left. Yep, Muir Haffis has left the room. Not sure if that's a rage quit or what, or if it's disconnect, but that really sucks. Muir was obviously a top contender for the race today here. But we've lost a racer. Meanwhile, Joao Oliveira is sitting in 3rd place, maybe just content to stay behind teammate Tommy Cunn, or maybe Joao will be looking for their chance at 2nd place. Tommy, meanwhile, has caught up to Rush. That pace advantage continues, and they're right there with each other now. Mid-pack, we got Ismadelic riding along with Diogo Typer. Pretty spread out back here already. Just 3 laps in. Cremedix, of course, as we know, with that bad bit of luck at the beginning of the race, but is now only 12.8 seconds behind F. Oliveira rather than 16. So a little bit of hope maybe for the McLaren driver. Diogo looking inside of Ismadeli as they come into 130R. I don't think he's gonna make a move. No, Diogo just stays there. Stays there. Ooh, Ismadeli with a bit of lag going into Casio. That's very scary to see the driver in front of you suddenly lag spike in front of right before a hard braking zone. But it could be that Isma's just laggy for us and not necessarily Diogo. Hopefully they can keep it clean and race close despite that. Meanwhile, Chompy dealing with their own Diogo, but not anymore. Diogo, I'm not sure how that even happened. I think the car just snapped one way on them. Not what we needed. Let's go way back and see what happened there. It's hard to tell. It's hard to even explain how that happened. But, oh, and that, ooh, coming back on track, not a good look. Coming back on track unsafely there and got into F. Oliveira a little bit. But, yeah, bad luck for Diogo there. That gives Prometix a competitor that's even closer. Meanwhile, Rush. Still leading the pack here. Tommy Gunn right behind. I can confirm that Mir Hafiz did rage quit, stating sportsmanship issues and a dirty move. We can't go back and see it again, but yeah, Mir Hafiz out of the race, unhappy with the situation with Tommy Gunn there. Of course, the stewards will be happy to look at it if Mir makes a report. Some would argue that it's poor sportsmanship to quit a race, but who am I? AMS Rush, 2.2 seconds from Tommy Gunn now. Don't know if something happened to Tommy. Let's see if we can go back far enough to see if something did happen, or no, that gap is already there. We can't go back far enough. So a bit of bad luck there for the one driver. Not sure what happened. Chompy alone, given that Diego Costa had that moment in turn one there. It means the other Diogo, UFT Diogo Typer, is now behind Chompy, but 2 seconds behind. They have more to worry about from Ismadelic than they do worry about chasing down Chompy. F. Oliveira doesn't seem to have had too much drama that we've seen. Maybe a little bit of a moment because they did get closer to Prometix than further after Prometix had got off track there. But besides that, no real big deals except maybe Diogo's return to track on that last lap, going through lap one or turn one. Prometix gonna have to figure something out here. Try to gain some positions, maybe adjust the strategy if they have a strategy in place. Not everybody comes into these races with the fuel and tire strat, believe it or not. Some people just come in for the pleasure of racing and don't really worry about that kind of stuff, and I get that. Let's see, is everybody on the softs? Looks like everybody's on the softs for this first stint. We'll see if anybody changes to the harder compounds later on, or if they stay on softs for the entirety of the race. And we are watching Tommy Gunn get through turn one, go through the S's. I need to try the M6 around here. I feel like it's been several years since I've driven the M6 around here, or really anything besides the 911 out here, to be honest. Hi, Muir. It was, we're sad to see you leave the race there. I understand that you feel that you were pushed into the grass during that moment. I say you should have stayed in the race. Finish it out, see how it goes. You owe it to your competitors, but welcome to the stream instead. AMS Rush still leading. Tommy Gunn is catching back up. That gap had been 2.2 seconds just a lap ago. It's back down to 1.8. Joao Oliveira, chilling. Nothing bad happening. Nothing great. Just steady in third place. Maybe they can stay there. They've got bad guy Cali about a second behind, though. Both of them in Aston Martins. One in that Team ERS livery. Joao in the one racing livery, of course. Chompy, the lone renegade on track. I don't know that I've seen the Honda in that renegade livery. I think this might be my first time. I'm into it. It looks good. It looks good. I like that green. That the fact that the green is chrome. I'm feeling that. Ismadelic, meanwhile, is pretty much caught up to Diogo Typer. Let's get out of this so I can change camera views. Alright, let's try that again. Isma. We're gonna go on board with Isma as they chase Diogo Typer through turn 7. Diogo oversteering badly through turn 1 there. That Honda being very, very mid-engine with him. And that lets Isma get a little closer. Diogo a little bit wide through the snake. Both being very, very, very patient as they go through the anti-banked curve, that off-camber turn. You have to wait so long to get back on the throttle there. Gonna come through Degner here. Ismadelic's gonna have to be careful in that dirty air, especially through the Degners. There is no room for mistakes. Going wide at either Degner is worth many, many seconds and possibly worth your lap. Through Degner 1, you go wide, you are going to end up very, very far off track. And in Degner 2, if you go wide, you end up slamming into a wall or spinning into the other wall on the other side. Either way, it's a bad look. Diogo Typer a little bit quicker through the hairpin. You saw the gap to Isma getting a little bigger there. Ismadelic gingerly negotiating through Spoon. Jump out of Spoon there, and the Toyota Supra, known for its top speed here, and you see already reeling Diogo in as they head into 130R, coming through the Casio triangle here, and I expect that Isma may be even closer going into turn 1. I'm gonna stay on board to see if they can make a move. Up, Isma dives in. Isma says, I don't want any part of this anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and pit. Oh, sorry, not Isma, sorry, Diogo dives in. Diogo coming in for tires. Both Diogos are in. Tires only for Diogo Typer. Costa will take tires, and also tires only. Fuel consumption, as you see, very, very low for these cars here. That pit stop isn't very long, so it may be that people have found it's worth taking the soft tires and just doing a few extra pit stops just to keep fresh tires instead of trying to run a long stint with hards and not pitting. The gap to Rush just a little bit smaller for Tommy, but it looks like it's holding steady at about a second and a half. I'm sure Tommy wishes that they could be in the slipstream. We'll see if they make it there. Teammate Joao still chilling. 3.3 seconds behind the leaders now, though, with Bad Guy Cali still a little while behind. Bad Guy losing about half a tenth on Joao here since the last time we checked on him. They're gonna have to work some work to do. Chompy's been racing alone since Diogo Typer had a moment. Typer? Costa. Diego Costa. Keep forgetting which one's in the 911. So Chompy just putting in fast laps now for themselves. Not much to deal with. Ismadelic, meanwhile, again, racing alone, but has F. Oliveira right behind. F. Oliveira about a second back in that Lexus. Wonder if they're going to start to catch up to Ismadelic here. Diogo Typer, as we know, pitted just jumping into Casio. We saw that front left tire, that driver's side tire, get a little bit red on the display in the left there. That indicates the tire was overheating, telling me Diogo might have been understeering into that corner, maybe a little bit late on the brakes, but nothing too bad. We didn't see any tire smoke from it. So Diogo survives. Oh, Cremedix goes wide from the turn one there. Actually, surprisingly, not a bad off. It could have been way worse. It could have lasted way longer, but as you see, Cremedix immediately out of the green AstroTurf there, and that's what helped them get the grip to come back onto track very easily. And that's what I mean. If you're in Spoon or anything like that, you wanna still having trouble controlling the McLaren. Cremedix drifting around the last of the S's here and over Dunlop turn here. But yeah, when you go wide at this track in any of those spaces that has that very slippery AstroTurf, like right here, any place like we're gonna come up on Spoon soon, you want to get off the turf as fast as possible, and most of the time that means letting the car go ahead and go off track. Just don't try to fight it, just go into that runoff area and then come back on track come back on track perpendicular to the AstroTurf, just to limit, you know, yourself to having only 2 tires. Just have 1 axle on that AstroTurf at a time, otherwise it will spin you again, it will slip you, you'll slide. You may not spin, but you'll slide. So there's a technique to going off and on around this track, and I know it well because I've spent a lot of time off track here. Tommy inherits first place as Rush has pitted. Joao Oliveira is still out. We have a lot of people going ahead and pitting now. I think that's most of the rest of the pack. So it looks like just ERS and 1 are the only teams that haven't pitted here. Yep, Cremedix actually in, so that's ERS in, and you know, Cremedix is the only ERS racer today, but we'll still say Team ERS. MS Rush making a bold move on Joao Oliveira. I would like to see that pass again, wouldn't you? Oh, that's not far enough back. Let's try going very far back. My bad, y'all. They actually go back and forth. In the Degners there. And Rush actually gets the better of the situation and gets the position. Alright, game, I'm ready to get out of this replay now. Thank you. Not surprising though, Joao still on the first stint, still on those old tires, and Rush is pitted. Rush has a fresh set of rubber. Although cold, probably has quite a bit more grip than whatever Joao's working with. And the Corvette is quite honestly a better chassis and twisty stuff than the Aston is. But Rush on a quest to catch up to Tommy Kahn and perhaps surpass them when Tommy pits, probably will. Joao, meanwhile, in the pits. Let's see if we can get a read on what pit time is. It's about 10 seconds, somewhere between 10 and 12 seconds, so it's very, very fast. Ooh, look at this. Bad Guy Cali being chased by Diogo Typer. Diogo's tires are slightly more worn. They pitted a couple of laps before Bad Guy Cali, but not so bad that they may not be able to make something happen here. I'd say that Honda's a lot more nimble than the Aston is, but again, it's not always easy to pass around here. Diogo doing a good job sticking with Bad Guy through the S's there, even through that dirty air. Just see Joao Oliveira off into the distance there. Maybe Diogo will back off and just stay with Bad Guy Cali and allow them to catch up to Joao, and maybe they'll both have a chance at third. Maybe not. A little bit sketchy into the hairpin there. I think Diogo just braking a little bit late. Coming through Spoon, that double left-hander. Lots of patience for Bad Guy Cali before getting back on that throttle there. Good job. Well job done. They are pulling away from Diogo, even the slipstream here a little bit. Bad Guy Cali survives that lap. Tommy Kun in the pits. Rush is going to pass. Let's see where Tommy comes out. I think Tommy comes out way behind Rush. Behind teammate Joao even. No, maybe not. There's Rush passing right now. Tommy comes into turn one, kind of at speed, but not quite. Let's see what happens when that time settles down. Yeah, actually, Tommy comes out a little bit closer to Rush. Was it a 4? It was not a 4-second gap. I'm wrong. I think Tommy comes out a little bit behind. That's my fault. I feel like the gap was about 1.8. Meanwhile, Bad Guy Cali is not able to shake Diogo. Diogo Typer right back up on the back of that Aston Martin. But it's very unique diffuser. I really love the diffuser on the back of the Aston. It's really cool looking. Look at that. It's not like any other car in the field. Take a look at chase cam here. Let's watch this fight this way. Taking advantage of one of the handling characteristics of that Honda. It will oversteer on you in braking, and it looks like Diogo used that to perfection, pointing it towards the apex, the second turn and Spoon there. That was really neat to see. Wow, Chompy's catching up to this battle here. So it may soon become a three-way battle for that 4th place position. And not too far behind, we have F. Oliveira and Ismadelic. Teammates, hopefully working together, maybe trying to get up to that 5th place, that 6th place position there, and maybe make a play for 5th even. Top 5 finish isn't out of the realm of possibility for either one of those drivers. And Bad Guy Cali is off. Bad Guy Cali's off in turn 1. Oh, really bad luck there. Really bad luck. Loses 2 positions. That gives Diogo Typer that 4th place that they've been chasing for the last couple of laps. Probably a little bit held back by Bad Guy Cali, for being honest, just considering how closely they were racing for so long. But Diogo Typer gets free 3.7 seconds behind Joao Oliveira. And Chompy inherits 5th place due to Bad Guy Cali's luck. Almost said a really terrible pun about luck and bad, but like, it would have been bad. Anyway, F. Oliveira and Ismadelic definitely saw that. And if you're F. Oliveira, you're thinking, here's this driver who's just had a really big off. They've lost a couple positions. They're probably a bit flustered about it. But are they close enough to try to make a move? Maybe not close enough to make a move, but perhaps thinking, this is my chance to get even closer to that driver. Maybe fluster them a little bit more, you know. If I'm Bad Guy Cali, I'm not going to lie, I'm probably spending a lot of time looking at that time split to F. Oliveira, wondering, hey, are they getting closer? Are they getting closer? And just stressing out about it instead of continuing on with the race. So far, though, it doesn't look like Bad Guy Cali is giving F. Oliveira much room here. Of course, the Aston with longer legs to stretch in that back straight. So we'll keep an eye on this to see if that off has affected Bad Guy Cali's performance at all. Meanwhile, back up front, Tommy Gunn's got that gap to Rush down by 0.3, down to 2 seconds. It's kind of wearing on Rush there. McLaren has such a unique sound, doesn't it? Really like listening to it. From the inside, lots and lots of turbo noise. And of course the whine of those straight cut gears and that sequential transmission. Full racing transmission, no time for creature comforts like quiet gearing. It's full go all the time. From out back, you get a big dose of that exhaust. A little bit wide, going through Spoon there. Had to wait till way too long to get on the throttle, so that's gonna affect that back straight time there, that top speed. And it's the little things like that, it's stuff like that that really makes your lap around Suzuka. You know, you pretty much have to be perfect in every corner around here to make even a decent lap. To be honest, it's surprising how quickly you lose time around here. Tommy getting a little bit wide in that second. Degner manages to hold on to it, but you can see the car got squirrely on that AstroTurf. Almost had a moment there. We're about halfway through this race. I'm not gonna lie, I need a snack. I'm starving. I should have eaten before this, or I should have eaten more before this. That's what you guys want to hear, right? How hungry I am? Now, the whole time I was looking at this, I hadn't noticed that gap from Rush to Tommy Gun. It's down to about a second. So what's going on? How much closer are we gonna get this lap? We're gonna go on board with Tommy. We're gonna see. Let me see if we get closer to the Corvette driver, or Tommy just trying to be careful on that throttle. Gets a little bit wide through there, but is definitely a bit closer to Rush. Tommy hustling through the S's here. Very neat through that off-camber turn. Purple sector, purple first sector for Tommy Gun, who had actually just set the fastest lap a couple laps back. So beating their own sector time there. And yeah, they are half a second now from AMS Rush. So it's not even a question. Not sure if Rush is slowing down or if Tommy has decided to put on the afterburners, possibly the latter, given that fastest lap there at lap 14. Tommy doing what they can to get into Rush's slipstream, and it looks like they're just going to stay right there because you saw a couple of short shifts right there from Tommy. So I don't think Tommy's looking to make a move here. Yep, coming out of Spoon in third gear instead of second. Rush, you saw a little wide coming out of Spoon. In fact, maybe spending some time in those mirrors looking at Tommy Gun coming up, but I don't know that a move is going to be made, but let's see. Let's see. They come into Casio. Just cutting as much of that triangle as possible. That's what you got to do to go fast through there. You got to cut a lot of it, but it's wrapped in that horrible AstroTurf. You can see we got a couple drivers going through it right now. Oh, they've already gotten through it. Let's see, who's this? See the AstroTurf on the left and on the right. But you gotta get the wheels out on there, so it's a precarious balance of getting your tires out on that slippery stuff while trying to maintain enough balance not to let the car slide over it. Don't get on the throttle too hard. Don't get on the throttle unless you're pointing straight. It's a really fun complex of corners to get through correctly once you get it down. Like the Degners. I really love getting through the Degners neatly. They're, especially the second one, it's super fun swinging through there. Not fun at all if you mess it up. Tommy, you gonna make a move or you just chilling? I think Tommy is chilling. Yeah, shifting that thing at about the halfway mark. Just gonna use Rush to save some fuel. Thank you, Rush, for the tow, Tommy says. Appreciate the help. It's very interesting to see there that Tommy can just turn that pace on when needed to go and get that slipstream, because Tommy was languishing behind by a second and a half or more constantly, pretty much constantly since the situation they had with Mir Happis earlier, and then suddenly, just in 2 laps, they decide, you know what, I'd like to be right up behind Rush, and they get right up there on demand. João Oliveira, meanwhile, no longer driving with anyone behind, racing all alone. Chompy, been racing all along for a long time there. Bad Guy Cali is back up to 5th place over F. Oliveira, who's gonna jump into the pits here. Sorry, not over F. Oliveira, but over Diego Typer, I believe it was. But Diego looks like they just pitted, so that's probably what happened there. Don't know that Bad Guy Cali made a pass. I think Bad Guy Cali just inherited, yes, Diego with fresher tires. Back up to our leaders. They are still just chilling. Tommy, is Tommy showing the nose there into the hairpin, or was there just nowhere else to go right there? Is Tommy trying to start making a move, or what? It doesn't look like it worked out that well, losing half a second to Rush there, but that shouldn't be that big a deal. These two are on disparate pit strategies, so this may break up if Rush pits in and Tommy doesn't, or Tommy may opt to just pit with AMS Rush. We'll see. I think we're getting close to where AMS Rush would pit here. It's gonna happen this time. Nope, not this lap. In fact, it's Tommy who dumps in this lap, just opting to undercut Rush there. I think Tommy has realized I definitely have pace. I'm gonna go for it. If they come out with no traffic, they should be okay to do that. They're gonna have to stop and take fuel here. They're gonna come out not in any traffic. Plenty of space to teammate Joao up ahead, and even if they come up to Joao, we've seen them play out team orders before and let Tommy Khan get through very quickly. So let's see if Tommy can put together some fast laps and jump Rush in the pits here. Wow, Chompy out of fuel almost. Probably gonna see the Renegade driver jump into the pits this lap. Diogo Costa off in turn 1, at the inside of turn 1, in fact. Don't know if maybe they ended up outside and got spun. Why isn't my replay working? Oh, there it is. And we've already missed it. So, okay, yeah. Spun on the outside, just ran through the grass to get through the corner. Tale as old as time. That brings Cremedix just a little bit closer to being not last again. Command Cremedix for sticking to it. If you missed it, Cremedix had 2 offs in lap 1, one at the very beginning and one at the very end, and has been on the back foot ever since. So it's good to see them still in the race, still looking to see if they can go back up a position or pick up some points for the championship at the very least in this race here. Rush in the pits. This is the line, and Rush is going to need to take fuel. Rush gets the fuel and comes back out. Tommy still just ahead though, so Tommy does make that pass happen in the pits there. Up ahead by 1.2 seconds. Just on pace. Good job to Tommy there. Rush may have picked up a little bit too much fuel as well. I don't think so though. I think taking about half a tank right here is about right. Everyone's still staying on softs. It doesn't look like anyone has opted to go with the hards and go for longer stints. Cremedix is in for a fresh set of softs himself. And a big old tank of fuel, or at least half a tank of fuel. Ten laps left to go. We're on lap 20. We go to lap 29. So we'll have one more pit stop from most of these drivers, but not all. No one's really in a fight. Our leaders are less than a second from one another. Oh, well, I lied. Bad Guy Cali is right up top on F. Oliveira. And then you have Chompy right behind them. So, let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, it's a 3-way battle now. F. Oliveira has to stick with it and not panic. Just do the right thing. Bad Guy shows the nose, doesn't actually dive and make a move, just trying to throw F. Oliveira off. But F. Oliveira, as you see, carved through that turn 1 perfectly. I didn't see a wheel set wrong. Not worried at all about what Bad Guy Cali is doing back there to try to throw them off. And that's how you race. Stay with a cool head. So now they go through the S's. Chompy really trying to get up on Bad Guy here. Chompy even closer to Bad Guy Cali than Bad Guy is to F. Oliveira. spoon. Pretty far apart. Let's check in with our leaders. Tommy Kun, Rush. What happened? Can we go back far enough to see what happened? Oh, we just catch the tail end. Rush in Spoon. Was it Spoon that messed him? Yeah, it's always Spoon, isn't it? It's always Spoon. So Tommy Kun gotta be breathing a sigh of relief there. 6.6 seconds is the gap with not a whole lot of race to go. Let's check back in with our three-way battle for 5th. F. Oliveira still hanging on to it. Order stays the same as they head into Casio. Back to the front straight and try to start it all over again. But man, really bad luck for Rush there. I'm sure that's not what they wanted at all. It was looking like a good race. It was looking like it was going to end pretty close between the two of them, to be honest. So a little bit disappointed here that we may not get that photo finish. Cremedix right up on Diogo Costa now. If you recall, Diogo had a moment and was 3.3 seconds up ahead of Cremedix, but Cremedix pitted and comes out, it looks like, just 1 second behind Costa from what we can see here. So it's going to be interesting to see if these two get into it soon. But I want to check here. Ooh, Chompy way back on these two, just not really in the battle anymore. 1.2 seconds back behind Bad Guy Cali. We'll see if they catch back up, especially if Bad Guy and F. Oliveira gets to fighting again. So far, it looks like Bad Guy's a respectable car length and a half behind F. Oliveira. Maybe gonna leave them alone for the knots, trying to run away from Chompy. Costa, meanwhile, with a Cremedix problem, as the McLaren looms ever closer. Yes, it looms. McLaren's loom, y'all. McLaren's loom. They loom ever closer to you. Does get just a little bit closer through the spoon there and gets a better exit, plus the slipstream. You see that time between the two of those coming down very, very fast. That McLaren getting much, much bigger in the rearview mirror of Cremedix with every corner, it seems. Oh yeah, big, big dive by Cremedix into the Casio triangle, but still not quite close enough. Let's go check in with our battle for 5th. Bad Guy and F. Oliveira still chilling. The gap to Chompy just a little bit bigger. That might be what they're looking for here. Bad Guy Cali silently promising to leave F. Oliveira alone if they can just run away from the Honda behind them. Costa and Cremedix starting another lap together. It's the dance, y'all. It's the racing dance. This is now Tommy Kun's race to lose. Tommy just has to keep it neat, keep it safe. See Rush in the background on that shot there. That Corvette looking a lot like a shark coming towards you on that straight on view. So yeah, Tommy doesn't want to make any mistakes here. F. Oliveira had seemingly shaken back at Kylie off a little bit here. The gap between them much bigger than it was, 1.2 seconds. Bad guy, in fact, a lot closer to Chompy, so I'm guessing something happened to the Aston driver. And well, now look. Our second Acura in the race, Diogo Typer, up in 7th place. I feel like I haven't really seen any bad things happen to Diogo Typer. Just kind of a steady race for them. AMS Rush on a tear, putting together their personal fastest lap, that last lap, and now going purple in the second, not purple, sorry, blue in the second sector, which indicates another personal fastest. And the time is coming down to Tommy Kahn. I think Tommy may just be taking fewer risks, running a little bit slower lap time just to make sure they bring this race home. There are only 4.5 laps left here. Not even a half, really, more of a quarter. But Rush really trying hard to catch up and hope maybe the one team driver will make a mistake and allow them to take first place again. I get it, the race is never over. It's not over until it's over, you know? And the closer you can be, the better of a chance that you'll have to get something. Another 2/10 off the split time here. Tommy Kahn may want to pay attention to that a little bit here and make sure that gap stays reasonable for them so they feel safe in the event of any issue. But of course, Tommy could also just be confident that there will be no issues, and even if Rush catches up, they'll be able to fend him off. We'll see. We'll see. Meanwhile, these two back at it again. Joao F. Oliveira and bad guy Cali. Chompy closer. Chompy a little bit closer to the battle, but Chompy's now got a Diogo less than a second back, so the two Hondas gonna go at it for a little bit. F. Oliveira just sliding a bit, losing the rear end a little bit, going into the hairpin. Doesn't lose much, but gets that guy a little bit closer. Not that that guy was ever very far. Meanwhile, bad guy showing a nose into Spoon, but look back here. Chompy and Diogo Typer. Diogo Typer right up on Chompy now. And I don't see any reason why Diogo won't try to make a move at some point. Two battles going here. Diogo does go inside of Chompy into 130R and takes the position there. Diogo having a little bit more rubber in that car. Easily keeps it tight into 130R, holds on to it, and is now going to make a move, trying to catch up to Bad Guy Cali and F. Oliveira. They're not that far, 1.2 seconds back. Isn't that far back to be. Of course, Diogo will have to be careful to see if, in case Chompy decides to try anything. Gap is closing in the S's. Chompy, meanwhile, starting to get left behind. Bad Guy Cali looking like they want to make a move on F. Oliveira. Probably want to put F. Oliveira between themselves and Diogo Typer, just to give them a chance at keeping the position and not getting passed by Diogo. No better way to do that than to get a car between you and your enemy and hope that other car gives them a hard time long enough for you to finish the race. But it's a three-way battle now. Diogo Typer is right there. And what's this? That's F. Oliveira going defensive into 130R. Gonna try to defend into the triangle as well. I think, was that a touch or lag? It looked like there might have been a touch there between the two of them. In the braking zone, yes, a tap. Okay, yeah, F. Oliveira got a tap by Bad Guy Cali. Oh, and comes back and spins a little bit, hits Bad Guy. Bad Guy, of course, trying to wait and give the position back and loses out, loses all the positions. That gives Diogo Typer 4th place, F. Oliveira in 5th, and then Chompy goes through as well. That puts Bad Guy Cali in 7th, exactly where they didn't want to be. Really bad luck right there for those two drivers, F. Oliveira and Bad Guy Cali. Just a mistake into the braking zone by Bad Guy. Unfortunately, this is what happens with close racing. And I think those two were a little bit laggy to one another to begin with. But in any case, Diogo Typer now able to take 4th place. Pretty much inherited a position in the top 5 here. Just has to hold on to it for the rest of this race. We're on lap 28. We got one more lap after this. Chompy probably wondering if maybe they also have a top 5 position in the cards. We're gonna keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, let's go check on our leaders. Tommy Khan, that gap to Tommy, between Tommy and AMS, down to nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was 6 seconds at one point. Tommy low on fuel, but so is Rush, and Tommy goes inside. Rush drives around the outside, and Tommy has to tuck in. Tommy has to give the position back to AMS Rush. Ooh, just trying to get back on them right there. That doesn't work out for them. That was an interesting try by Tommy there. I think Tommy just trying to keep it tight and go back inside AMS Rush right here, right there, yep. Instead ends up tapping the Corvette driver, doesn't make the pass. Not a bad attempt. Rush was a little bit wide there, but not wide enough for 2 big cars, so Tommy doesn't get that. This is the last lap. Oh my gosh. We have Chompy going for 5th. We've got Tommy just trying to get 1st place back. I can't believe this has happened. But looking at Tommy's fuel, it looks like Tommy had no choice but to be going as slow as they were towards the end of the race, and that allowed AMS Rush to bring that gap from 6 seconds, more than 6 seconds, up to now being in 1st place and starting to put a gap on Tommy. Tommy running out of places to make a move. They're going around Spoon now. Only a couple more corners left. They're going to go into this back straight, going into 130R, and then it's going to be Casio corner. Meanwhile, back here, Chompy not making a move on F. Oliveira, unable to. In fact, has to worry about, never mind. Did have to worry about Bad Guy Cali. Bad Guy Cali going wide right there. I've done that. It's easy to do in dirty air and picks up a 1.5 second penalty to boot, and that's going to be the end of Bad Guy Cali's race right there. Just going to end it in 7th. Tommy Kun going to have to settle for 2nd place behind AMS Rush here. A good win by Rush. Got it going into the 1st corner of the very last lap. And that's 1st and 2nd. Joao's going to bring it into 3rd. Diogo with that lucky 4th place. And F. Oliveira, unlucky, loses a position, finishes in 5th. Chompy in 6th. Bad Guy Cali, very, very unlucky. Isn't even going to drive it to the end, just in the pause menu, letting the computer drive him to the finish line. I see Bad Guy Cali takes 7th. Isma coming out of Casio for 8th, and then Diogo Costa down in 9th, coming into Casio Triangle themselves. Meanwhile, Cremedix way behind, a minute behind. I don't even know how that happened. Didn't see it happen, but Cremedix 55 seconds behind Diogo Costa, and just never recovered from ending up in last place from lap 1. They're gonna go through Spoon here and go into the back straight, and the rest of the field is done with the race here. Cremedix hanging on to the very last. Good effort, showing good sportsmanship there to stay in the race, even though in this case the race was lost in lap 1. Stuck through the other 28. You have to commend that. Absolutely respectable. And Cremedix now crossed the line. So has to have a little fun, go into the wall for a second. Probably just wasn't steering. And that's going to be a victory for AMS Rush. Good race, everybody. Bad luck for Tommy there. Looks like just having to try to hold on to fuel just to even finish the race, and ends up finishing up in 2nd place instead of 1st, despite qualifying in 1st by over 3/10 and seemingly having a lot more pace during the race on tap. But it is what it is. Alright, y'all, gonna leave the lobby, gonna end the stream. Thank you for watching. As usual, we'll be back next week with Laguna Seca, the final round of this season of the GT3 Cup series, not Cup. See you all.